Hello everyone, here's another team for Halloween Cup for you. This time I'm sort of featuring Beedrill. I've got Beedrill on point with Poison Jab, Drill Run and Fell Stinger. Fell Stinger is not the recommended move on PV Poke, however I like it better. Hopefully I'll be able to show you why it works for me quite a lot better than X-Scissor. The problem is X-Scissor is a terrible move. Fell Stinger is also a terrible move, but it's a terrible move with a power up. So whilst X-Scissor wins you some more matches in the 1v1, actually when you're playing a 1v2 type scenario, actually having those power-ups ranking up makes a lot more difference. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hop into matches and see how this plays out. Right, there we go. Let's kick that off, and there we go. So first up, what have we got? What we've got is Clefable. This is a great lead for Beedrill. We hit super effective, we resist their charms. Marowak is not a thing we're quite so happy with, but Mandibuzz does very well against Marowak. Being a dark flying, it means it's resistant Bone Club, it's resistant to Shadow Ball. As you can see, does next to no damage. We pretty much wall this Marowak and we're just going to farm it down with our flying attack. Normally you'd run Mandibuzz with Snarl probably in Great League, however in this meta the flying damage is very variable. There's not very many things in it that really resist flying. There's a few examples, but not very many. So we go straight into foul play, and look at that, takes a big chunk off. And we've got one loaded still, and no shields down, even better. So the fairy comes back in, it will probably obliterate us with charm, that's fine, because we've got a Beedrill. Beedrill is going to be in line with it again, that's good. They don't want to be here, so right, a good switch on our charge move, that's fine, because it's a Fell Stinger. And their own B comes in. Okay, that's fair enough. We've got sort of an equal position and we're just going to bait them with Fell Stinger. They've built up the drill run now, so we can't afford to take the risk, so we shield. It was a drill run and we just Fell Stinger them in return. Either way, they shield or they give us a power up. It's fine by us. Okay, so now we've got double power ups. We're just going to go straight into our own drill run. They also can't afford to shield this without taking them out. However, they also maybe can't afford to spare the shield. There we go, goodbye. In comes Clefable, and it's probably going to finish us off with charms. Maybe not, I don't know. Lagged out for both of us, but I think we'd have got to that Fell Stinger either way. What's next? Next up we have... Come on in. I've been finding it's loading a bit slower. Have you been having troubles with it? Okay, so Beedrill into a Azumarill. Another Fairy, another Poison. Good start for us, so we're just going to build up to Drill Run and throw a Fell Stinger. Azumarills don't like to shield particularly, even when it's Drill Run. Drill Run hits quite hard, and this time we get a shield, even better. So we baited them, and we got a boost, and we got a shield. That's kind of winning. We're going to shield the Ice Beam, and we're just going to see if they want to stay in. They don't, it's a Skuntank. Fortunately, however, Drill Run is super effective against Skuntank as well, so we're just going to throw our dirt, see if they want to shield it. Okay, they did shield it, that's wise, however we're just going to do the same again. We'll shield whatever's coming in. Because we know we've got the ability to really hurt the Azumarill, we keep the Beedrill alive, we throw our own drill Run, and see what else they bring in between. Goodbye Skuntank. It's a Toxicroak, something else that's vulnerable to Beedrill. That's splendid. So we're just going to go straight into a Fell Stinger here. They can't shield it. That's probably a bad choice on my part. And looks like we're going to go down to the Toxicroak. Never mind. Still, my bump's going to take us out. That's okay, because what we've got is a Mandibuzz, and we're just going to bring that in. It resists counter, but that's cancelled out by the Dark, so that only does us neutral. The Mud Bomb, on the other hand, it's not going to do us any harm at all. Sludge Bomb on the other hand does us a bit more. And in comes Azumarill, and we bring the Gardevoir out. If they can get to their charge move, they will do us a lot of damage, maybe even take us out in one. Very nearly, we'll get one more charm off maybe, or maybe not because we lagged. Either way, doesn't matter too much because we've got an Aerial Ace to take out the Azumarill. And then in comes the Toxicroak again, and it's still going to have trouble with the flying damage, so we're just going to peck it down. And it's not got much left, and maybe if it got to a Sludge Bomb it would have taken us out, but the Mud Bomb wasn't going to do the trick. Right, what's next? Beedrill into Marowak. Now, Marowak's a problem for this team because Marowak is obviously fire type and Gardevoir doesn't like it very much because of the ghost type. So we move into Mandibuzz, but because it's not switch locked, they bailed out. They bring in a Muck. Normal Muck, not Alola Muck, so it's vulnerable to Dark. Well, not vulnerable, Dark does neutral. Thunder Punch is super effective, that's not good for us, but as you can see, Mandibuzz is pretty chunky, so even the super effective Thunder Punch doesn't do us much harm. We're going to go the same again, build up to Foul Play. Got a slight energy lead there, and we'll see if they want to shield this. There we go, we've got the shield. So, whilst our safe switch hasn't won the switch, we are going to be able to take a shield off them, so that's good. Thunder Punch still doesn't quite finish us, wow. So in comes the Muck, and we bring the Beedrill back in, because this way we can farm them down. This is probably going to hurt, so we're going to shield it. It's probably a Thunder Punch. Yep, it was, okay. Wouldn't matter too much, but we are going to nibble away and build up a nice big energy lead, which means we've got our Felt Stingers ready to go. We'll throw one now because they can't afford not to shield it because it might be a drill run. And I've got enough energy for drill run, so we've now got a damage boosted drill run to throw at the Alola Marowak. So one of the advantages of Beedrill actually is that whilst it doesn't like fire types very much, it can cope with them because drill run hits them for super effective. And that's true of the other key fire type, which isn't really a fire type, in Mawile. And in comes Shadow Victory Bell. I'm not sold on Shadow Victory Bell in this meta because it hits super effective against against water, ground, and rock, and none of those are cool meta. I mean, you'll see a few of them, but not many. And even with Azumarill being everywhere, I'm just not convinced a grass type is a good call. That said, there we go. Good game to my opponent. Beedrill finishes off. Beedrill does double resist Victory Bell, and you've got a lot of bugs, you've got a lot of poisons. So guys, Beedrill leading to Crustle. Now this is the flaw with this team. Taking a gamble on there not being too many rock types, and there's a rock type. Mandibuzz doesn't like it too much, so we actually bring the Mandibuzz in deliberately, because that way they're probably going to stay in and go head to head with Mandibuzz, because obviously this is a good matchup for them. However, we have got a shield off them with the Foul Play, so that's good. We're going to shield in return. We're going to shield the Rock Slide and try and get to another Foul Play. Galvantula comes in. Double flying counters, that's a nuisance. Okay, this is going to be difficult for us, but we're going to go for a Foul Play because obviously Galvantula also can't afford really to take much damage, even when it resists, and it doesn't resist Dark. Now we can bring in our Gardevoir, because the other thing Galvantula has trouble with is heavy fast move damage. It needs the shields to keep it alive, and look at that, Charm just takes it apart. However, looks like I've got to another charge move, so this charge is going to hurt us a lot, yes, but we still take it out and we win that matchup. And in comes the Azumarill. That's good. We can Beedrill it and throw a Fell Stinger, build up a nice amount of energy. This is going to be tough though, because I think they're going to get to an Ice Beam. Yes, I should probably throw a Drill Run there, but so it goes. They're going to Ice Beam us, and then the Crustle's going to come back in and probably take us out. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Drill Run here will do plenty of damage, but I don't think we'll get to another one in time against the Crustle. It's just going to take us out in 2 rocks. Maybe 1 rock. Yeah, 1 rock. And the Gardevoir, another rock. We'll play to my opponent. It's one of the risks with the meta, obviously, is that because there's not very much ground or rock, you can gamble on them not running into it, and then things that do them will ruin you. And on that very note, here's a Haunter, which, whilst it's good against the poison damage, and it's going to tear us apart with Shadow Claws, it's not going to do very well against Dark types, and if we can get that Drill Run to land, it will cause it grief. And comes another Crustle, so rock is quite popular here. I think we're going to be seeing more and more of that, just because it is quite a good damage type. However, they are running Fury Cutter. Faster charge rate, gets the charge move faster, but it does mean they're not hitting us for super effective with their fast move. That's okay, we've got up to another Foul Play. At this point we can decide not to let it, we'll decide to let it go. And it's next Scissor, which doesn't quite take us out. So this is the joy of Mandibuzz. It is a chunky monkey, flying Umbreon basically, and it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it does decent. And so now we're going to farm down this Crustle with our not very effective poison jabs. We're going to shield the incoming rock move because they're doing bug damage to us, and we're resisting that. So we're just going to nibble away with our poison jabs, build a nice big energy lead, because when Haunter comes back in, we've got the shield for the inevitable probably Shadow Punch. Yep, and we can throw a Fell Stinger. Haunter cannot afford really not to shield anything because it gets one hit by almost every charge move. I think there's a few examples, and Felstinger might be one of them, but my opponent didn't necessarily know that. So then we can go to the drill run straight afterwards, and you can hear my dog shaking in the background, and the Skuntank. So as I was saying about taking a risk on not running to certain types, my opponent's clearly taking a risk on not running into ground type because all his team is going to have a problem with drill runs. Sure enough, goodbye Skuntank. So where the rock vulnerability hurt me, his ground vulnerability hurt him. So right, what we've got next? Next up, we've got a Marowak lead. Now, again, this isn't too good for us, so we just go straight into Mandibuzz. Marowak is problematic for Beedrill. It's not a disaster, and the victory bell. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking here. I mean, maybe they were trying to keep it away from the Beedrill, but it's just not going to do any good at all against a Mandibuzz. So we're just going to nibble it away with fast moves. Yes, I suppose it's taken away most of our health, but we've got a nice big energy lead, and they won the switch, so I'm okay with that. Aerial Ace going in. It's a Azumarill, so we're just going to throw the Aerial Aces. They don't do very much. It's a pretty bad move, but this thing would be disgustingly overpowered if it had Sky Attack, so I can see why it's Aerial Ace. So, Beedrill onto Azumarill. This is why Beedrill's the king, because Azumarills really can't cope with the poison jabs. We're just going to bait with Felstinger. We're going to build up our own drill run, and there we go. Well, okay. They caught the drill run on the Marowak, but that also can't really cope with the drill runs. So now we're going to switch into Gardevoir. This is perhaps a bit of a crazy play, it might seem, because it can't cope with any damage at all. We're just not going to shield. And it's a Bone Club, so we can survive a little bit longer, and we're just going to chunk away with the charms and let it go down. My opponent's farmed up some energy now, probably, but that may not help them. So we're going to shield here. Shadow Ball, great, good shield. So we're going to farm away onto the lone Marowak, we'll build up a drill run, and we're going to throw our own Felstinger again. They couldn't afford not to shield, but unfortunately they're probably going to take us out with a Bone Club. Or maybe a Shadow Ball, actually. Yep, they got to Shadow Ball. Good game. With a bit more luck we might have taken out the Marowak and unloaded. Not to be. Sorry. To be or not to be. That is the Beedrill. Right, Beedrill versus Beedrill. We're going to anticipate they've got X-Scissor, because that's the recommended move, and we've got Felstinger. So we're just going to bait each other. Drill runs versus Felstingers. I'm going to shield here, because I can't really afford for them to drill run me. When it was an X-Scissor bait, fine. We're going to return the favour, and we're going to Felstinger them. They switch to Toxicroak behind our back, which I think is a bit of a brave play, because actually we double resist fighting, and drill run is really going to hurt them. We're going to shield because this is probably a Mud Bomb, but it still hurts a fair bit. And we're just going to drill run their Toxicroak. If they don't shield, that's going to take them out. Just like that. And in comes the Marowak, so we switch immediately to Mandibuzz. I think they might still be switch locked here, so that's good. Mandibuzz does very well against Marowak. It pretty much walls it. It resists the ground moves, it resists the shadow moves. If they've got Flame Wheel, it doesn't resist that, but Flame Wheel is just such a bad move that it doesn't really matter. Right, their Beedrill comes in. X-Scissor does neutral to us because the Flying in the Dark cancel out, but as you can see, our flying damage is taking chunks out of the Beedrill. We're going to throw our flying move here, our Aerial Ace, and there we go. Goodbye Beedrill. In comes Marowak. It still can't hit us very hard, but our health's getting a bit low. Bone Club. Nope. I'm not quite sure if they throw through a Bone Club there. Maybe they were anticipating us doing a charge move on them, but we're not going to. So they can Bone Club us again, and we're just going to throw our Foul Play back out to them. See if we get the shield. I don't know, and they had to shield that pretty much because it would take them out. But go on, go for another Bone Club. You know you want to. There's another Bone Club, and it still doesn't take us out. But we aren't going to get to the Foul Play quite. So Gardevoir, we're going to go Gardevoir versus Bone Club. Go on, Bone Club us, you know you want to. This resists our charm damage. The Bone Club hurts quite a bit, but yes, go on, one more Bone Club. Is it going to take us out? Is it going to take us out? It does take us out with the Bone Club, but we have a bee in the back. Zzz. Buzz off, Marowak. Right, so next up. Four matches left. I've got a playlist open this time because I keep losing track of how many I've got through and whether my voice is running out. Again, bit of loading lag. Beedrill into Marowak again. I think I mentioned before that being choosy about which types you risk showing up is a bit of a gamble, and so fire doesn't do us a lot of favours, and neither does rock. So this is not looking good for us. However, Crustle with X-Scissor, foul play from my Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz does hit for neutral, and Mandibuzz is still very sturdy. So we get the shield. Great. That's about the best we could hope for, really, with an anti-flyer versus a flyer. We aren't quite going to get to the extra foul play, so we're going to need to shield here. Probably an X-Scissor, okay, but we foul play them in return. This will take off quite a chunk of their health, and let's see if they want to go down 2 shields. They don't, so Crustle's taken down a long way. Part of the reason for that is because obviously neither Beedrill nor Gardevoir really like Crustle, so we had to sort of take the Mandibuzz in there and just slug it out a bit. Marowak is not a good matchup for a Gardevoir, and we're just not going to shield here, and we're going to hope they Bone Club us, because we might survive that. Yes, we do. So we're going to throw a couple more charms. No. Get the other Bone Club off them. That's fine. That's probably their energy gone. That's okay for us. We're just going to nibble away the Beedrill, and we're just going to go with Fell Stinger. They can't really afford to land a drill run here because it will take out their Marowak, and probably the best counter for Beedrill. Okay, so nibbling away a bit more, and lagging a bit, and I don't know where they've got to on their charge move, so we're going to shield here. It's probably Bone Club, but we can't afford to risk it. So we're just going to nibble away, and it's another Bone Club. Ouch. I don't think it's going to take out this Marowak, so I think we're going to lose. And even if we didn't, we've not got much health left to take out whatever is in the back. Oh well, against my opponent. Fire is a bit more common than rock, but my opponent clearly had both, which is a bit of a problem for this team. Like I say, it's a bit of a gamble. Right, so Houndoom lead. This is looking suspiciously like we're going to run into a triple shadow team. So bring the Mandibuzz out, and it's a Gardevoir. So yes, okay. Foul play will hit Gardevoir quite hard, so that's what we do. We're just going to try and get those shields off them. If we can get the Gardevoir aligned with the Houndoom, it will do some really amazing work, but we need to think about the potential victory bell in the back. So we Beedrill the Gardevoir, we shield the incoming Shadow Ball, probably. Okay, it was a Psychic, doesn't really matter. Right, so we Fell Stinger, see if they'll prepare to shield it. They weren't, they let it go. If it's Houndoom, we're in trouble. Yes, it is. At this point I would probably have switched, but I lagged instead, so we took out the Houndoom with 2 charms, and it's a Victory Bell. This is not going to end well for us. So maybe what I was saying earlier about Victory Bell having no play at all, well, perhaps I was mistaken. Then again, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced this team's got any real endurance, and you have to be lucky on the alignment. So it's how it goes. Beedrill into Wigglytuff. Good start for us. Poison damage against the Wiggler. We're going to build up to Drill Runner, and we're going to bait with a Fell Stinger. They bring in a Azumarill, which I honestly think is a bad call on their part, because switch locking an Azumarill with a Beedrill means I can do this. I can Fell Stinger them, and I can Drill Run, build up, and Fell Stinger them. And I can build up again. I can shield their incoming. And basically my Poison Jab is now double boosted, so that's 50% more damage. Let's see if I can get it to 100%. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, so there's one more going through, and that's, no, what was that, 7 out of 8? No, 7 out of 4. Incoming. We're going to shield that, because if they brought a Azumarill onto a Beedrill, it means that whatever they've got probably also doesn't like it. And there's a Wigglytuff again. Looks like we're not going to get to that 100% damage boost, because we're just going to go straight into the drill run and see if they anticipate it, and they don't. Out comes the Azumarill again. We're still hugely boosted on our energy, and it's another Clefable in the back, so we're just going to not quite make it to the Fell Stinger. I think we might have done, but anyway, we're going to bring the Gardevoir in and just trade charms with them. Doesn't matter if they have a shield in there or not. Still, double Charmers. That's quite brave, because Beedrill eats their face. In fact, that was triple Fairies, wasn't it? Ah. That's brave in a poison meta, I think. Anyway, Azumarill lead, Beedrill. Same again. This is why I like Fell Stinger particularly. It's because whilst X-Scissor does technically win you more matchups, Fell Stinger gives you the potential to do this and build up the momentum, which leads on to, you know, sweeping whole teams. Right, so we're just going to shield them. If they want to stay in, that's great, because we're effectively farming them. Not quite for energy, but for power-ups, that's good. So Mandibuzz comes in. Felsting is neutral against Mandibuzz, so we just overcharge a little bit there just to get the energy lead. I think we're going to have to switch here, so yeah, it's not going to do an awful lot. So we're going to build up to another Felstinger, and we're going to quickly switch to our own Mandibuzz. Theirs is on low health, and we're just going to have a bit of a snooze fest here as two Mandibuzzes go head to head and slap each other with aerial aces. I build up to mine, they build up to theirs, yada yada. However, they're on half health to start off with, so I think I'm going to come out with this with a comfortable lead. Either that, or we're going to get a shield off them. Maybe even both. Let's see. There we go. Mandibuzz going buzz. So, incoming aerial ace probably. Flap, flap, flap. And at this point I think we can safely just farm them down and get that energy lead. Yep, got a charge move built up. Incoming Azumarill, we're going to throw our aerial ace. It's not going to do a lot of good, and Azumarill is probably going to take us out. However, I'm not sure they're able to farm us down, because we are still pretty sturdy, and we're going to get to another aerial ace. Yep. So let's see, are they going to go for a full farm down? Looks like yes they are. Okay, so what now? We bring in the Beedrill and we throw our Felstinger again, just to see if we want to play this game some more. We did have a Beedrill run reloaded, so they have to respect the potential for that, but no, they were prepared to let the Azumarill go. At which point we let our Beedrill go. This Ice Beam uses up a load of their energy. They've still got some energy in reserve, I'm sure. However, it's an Obstagoon in the back. No. Charm just says no. And goodbye Azumarill. Good game to my opponent. One of the joys with a Charmer in the back is, of course, you've got shield equalisation. If you're maintaining equal shields to the end, you can just not worry about theirs being there. Anyway, so there's some matches with that team. I'm quite liking how Beedrill plays. As you saw, it doesn't do too hot against the fire ghosts, and it doesn't do too good against the rocks. I think it's just a question of whether you run into those in your meta very much at all. And things like Alola Marowak, obviously lots of people have got that built for their team. Crustle, it's a little bit less common, but it is quite a good play in this meta, just because rock type isn't really resisted by very much at all that you'll run into. So, yeah. Are you running Beedrill? Do you have any good team compositions? I'm quite liking it. I think it works fairly well with Mandibuzz, but I'm not so sure about the Gardevoir in the back. Either way, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you've seen the potential of Felstinger a little bit, and thank you very much for watching.